What's good, YouTube? Akil here, back with another video, and today is another trip to the thrift, but I'm going to be switching it up just a little bit. I kind of want to give you guys some more insight onto why I pick certain items up and to why I'm starting to pass on certain stuff, because in this video there's a ton of stuff that I passed on, as well as some really good items that I saw in some of these thrift stores as well. So if you guys haven't already, make sure that you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, y'all, so we are in the Goodwill, and I always try to check out the bag section anytime I'm in here, and the first bag I saw was this Patagonia bag. It looked like it was like some, I guess maybe a brand called Quinn Street. Looked like it was embroidered on here. And sometimes I sell Patagonia pieces that may have some type of private branding or some type of logo on there outside of just Patagonia, and it still sells, but it just takes a lot longer. So for that reason, I ended up still picking this one up, but I kind of regret it. So drop a comment if you guys would have grabbed that one up. Next was this pair of Skechers roller skates, and roller skates have been selling really well for me, especially for right now. I guess this is just the season where people are looking for these, or maybe they're just starting to trend a little more, but these are selling for right around 60 to 80 bucks depending on the condition. Since these are kind of rough, they're not cracking, but just overall they're in pretty rough shape, so I'll probably get closer to 60 bucks for those. So here are two PS2 controllers, and I always check the inside of the controller part, always just to make sure that all of the pieces are in there. And as you guys can see, all of them are in this one, so I'm definitely going to be grabbing this one up. And the same thing for that green controller in the back. That's also a PS2 controller, and that one also had all of the little prongs on the inside. Sometimes they work just fine if one is missing, but for me, if I'm in the store and I see one or two prongs missing, I usually just pass on it. So here was an Xbox 360, and I usually always pass on the white Xbox 360s because they usually tend to have some type of issue. And as you guys can see, this one says as is on the front, so this was probably a return or probably damaged, and they're just trying to sell it as is like it says. So definitely gonna pass on that one as well. And here was I believe this is like an old school Logitech joystick, probably like for like a flight simulator. Definitely gonna pass on that. Sometimes they have some value, but with that one, since I can't test it, I'm just gonna pass on that. And next to the register was one of my favorite calculators to find. I believe this one was the TI-84. Absolutely grabbing that one up. That sells for 60 bucks all day long, and somebody clearly was testing it out already, so definitely grabbing that one up for 5 bucks. And that PS2 controller sells for about 5, so I had to pass on that. So here we are in one of my favorite thrift stores. I try to get here as early as possible because all the good stuff is usually going pretty quickly, but I thought this was going to be just like a St. Louis Cardinals jacket or maybe like an Arizona Cardinals jacket, but this one was like a vintage Coca-Cola jacket, and of course it has a name on here, but not too familiar with this brand at all. It's definitely vintage, so I'm not too familiar on what the price might be for this. This might sell for a ton of profit, or it may sell for just maybe 20 bucks, but either way, definitely gonna grab this one up because you don't find pieces like this often. Alright, y'all, so we are back in Goodwill and came across two interesting pieces that I'm glad I could share with you guys. Here was one of these Dyson vacuums, and I used to always pick these Dyson vacuums up, break it down, and of course sell it separately. So quick example, what I would do is like break apart that little canister piece and sell that, and then this bottom piece here I would sell that as well. And not to say it sells super quick, but you usually can make a decent amount of profit, but I realize I don't enjoy doing that anymore, and it doesn't sell fast enough, so I'm always going to pass on those vacuums from now on, unless it's maybe brand new in the box or something. But next I came across one of these Guitar Hero drum sets. The downside to this is that it's missing the pedals, so that's going to take away from some of the value, but pieces like this, even though it is kind of big and bulky, these pieces sell for a ton of profit. They're only asking 15 bucks for this one, so I'm definitely gonna have to grab this one up, test it out, hopefully it works. But stuff like this would sell for like 150, so you can't necessarily pass on stuff like that. Alright, y'all, so this was an interesting find. Came across this little wine accessory holder. As you guys can see, it was only $7.50 for this, but it was basically just holding like a cork and a wine bottle opener and just little dope wine accessories. And the good thing about this is that my wife and I are starting a wine company, so I'll probably swap out the wine label for this, put our own label on there, and just kind of keep this in the house. In terms of resale, this probably wouldn't sell for anything at all, but this is definitely something good to add some value to our collection. So I just told you guys in the last trip to the thrift that I was going to be looking for an Xbox Connect only because I needed to bundle it with the Xbox 360 that I just picked up. But they were asking $12.50 for this one, so I'm gonna have to pass on this. Usually because I try to spend right around $4 to $5 for that, and if I was to sell it by itself, it only sells for about $20, so definitely not worth it. And here was another PS2 controller, but this is another example to show you guys why I don't pick these up sometimes. Here you can see this was missing the little prong on the inside, so this one has a 50-50 chance of not working, so for that reason I'm just gonna pass on that one. But here was the Xbox One Connect, and I always sell these for at least 50 to 60 bucks. With this one in particular, of course, I'm gonna have to clean this one up because it has some stickers and just some residue on here. I don't know what that's about, but I'm gonna have to clean that one up, and that should be a quick 60 bucks. Were some brand new items, and I love coming across anything brand new and sealed in Goodwill. This was just like a ceiling fan remote, and just checking the comps really quickly, this one was selling for about 20 bucks, so not a ton of profit, but a quick flip. And this one in particular, this one isn't the big money maker, but some of these moisture meters sell for like $200 to $300. This one in particular selling for right around $30, maybe $40, so I'll just go ahead and grab that one up as well. So speaking of brand new and sealed items, this one was a brand new toe clip and strap from Eclipse Bikes. I was trying to find the comps on eBay for these, but I couldn't find any, and they were only asking $150 for this, so I'm gonna just take a chance on this and just list it anyway, and maybe it might sell for maybe $10, $15. Maybe, you know, worthless, but stuff like this is always worth the risk to me. And next I came across some Brooks running shoes. At first they seemed to be in pretty good condition, but just the side looked like maybe a dog got to this, or maybe this person just runs funny and they just messed up the inside of the shoe. But overall it looked like it was in good shape, but just that little flaw on the side were just enough for me to want to pass on these. The bottoms had a little normal signs of wear, but overall I'm just gonna go ahead and pass on those. So came up on 3 of these. I guess they're called Himalayan salt lamps. I thought these had some value to them, but once I checked on eBay just to check some comps, these were selling for right around 20 to 25 bucks brand new. Some of them had like a light fixture on the inside, and then as you guys can see, one of them didn't have any lights at all. I tested it out to see if the light would actually come on, but none of them were working, so I ended up just passing on all of them, especially since it wasn't going to be bringing in that much profit. Now this is a really good example of stuff that I have no clue what it is, but I just try to sell it anyway. All I did was type in, I believe I typed in Lanzar Opti Drive just on eBay just to see if these are worth anything at all, and I was shocked because I've seen some people sell these for parts for as high as like 75 to 80 bucks plus shipping. Then I've seen other people sell it for like 150 if it was working, sometimes even more than that, so I'm definitely going to be taking a chance on this for sure. So on my way out, of course, I had to check the games, and they just put these out because I was just here a little while ago and there were no games here. Came up on these PSP games. Anytime I find anything PSP, I usually always grab them up because they usually sell pretty quickly and they're a little more limited. I don't come across PSP stuff often, so for that reason I always grab them up. But all of these games were actually complete, probably from a collector or something, but really good condition games here. I know that Donkey Kong should sell for about 15. That Final Fantasy should go about maybe 30 to 40. And then I seen this Connect Adventures. This has been here for a long time, so still gonna pass on that one. But then this Madden for the PC brought back a ton of memories. Back in 05 when I was, what was I, 15 at the time, I spent a lot of time playing that game, so still pass, but still nostalgic. Alright y'all, that's all I have for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, don't forget to hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It basically just pushes out the video and it just lets YouTube know that you like what I'm doing here, so I definitely would appreciate that. And also drop a comment, what was your favorite find in today's video, or something interesting that you learned, because like I said, I'm trying to switch things up a little bit, and I'm also thinking about just grabbing a GoPro and starting to put that to good use instead of just recording with my phone in the store like I usually do. I figured a GoPro would kind of give you more some like in-store footage, because when I'm in these thrift stores I usually spend no more than like 30 minutes, and I try to hit at least 3 different thrift stores just to kind of maximize my time. So drop a comment, let me know what you think about that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. For the winner, cause you feel like you was losing, only for the winner. Mood just to keep from cooling, like only for the winner, only for the winner, only for the winner. Boy, my heart is cold, and I'm too cool to sweat it. I should've never offered it. I'm tight and now I'm off this shit. You should wanna be a real one. Earn the base is hard, I still won. Tired of wasting time, but you is on my mind. Bear me from the music.
Wasting time is so hard.